And in web world, you know, the internet world, a template is really a dirty word, isn't it? If I say to you the words website template, you think cheap and tacky. Today I'm on my way to see a photographer who wants a website, and I plan in the space of 6 hours to go from nothing to completed website, professional quality design, populated with her content, optimized for Google. Yeah, I'm going to try and build the entire thing in 6 hours. Which you can do using something like WordPress. Once you know your software really well, it's a very rapid process. What costs money in website terms is time. Well, if you have all your content ready, photos, text, even page structure, if we prompt you for that, it's extremely rapid. And that's my challenge today. Build a professional quality website in 6 hours. And I'll let you know how it goes. Left the production photography company, and I did not build my website in 6 hours. It's going to take 7. That is because when I walked in, the first thing she said to me was, I looked at the mock-up you did, the design that you did for my business. I really liked it, but there are a few things I'm not sure about. Okay, it's your website. You tell me what you want to change. So she said, I don't like the way the menu works. It was a drop-down menu, not a horizontal menu. And I'm not sure about having the large sound. I stopped her at that point and said, look, it's fine. Let's just go and find a different design. So what do you mean? This is the difference between web design 10 years ago and now. 10 years ago, if I'd walked into a customer meeting and she'd said, I don't like the web design you've built, that would give me palpitations. I would be like, because I'll have spent weeks paying people to help me and myself developing this website. So for someone to turn around when it's built and say, I'm not sure, I want to change it, would be a business disaster, really. But it's not then, it's now. And when she says, I'm not sure about the design, literally, I say, that's fine, let's try some different ones, because database-driven website technology, such as WordPress, means we can plug and play. Plug and play in web design means I can change your theme, they call it a theme, your design in minutes. And this is what we did. So let's go on to WordPress.org, which is the developer's version of WordPress, means you can change a lot more things. Well, we'll put a search into the design themes. These are ready-made templates that people have made that you can download for free. So we'll find all the ones to do with photographers. We'll go and look at a few and we'll download them. So that we do that, comes up with a few choices. Says, I really like that one. Oh, let's have a look. So I click, download. This is how fast you can do it. Downloads the design. I click upload on her WordPress site. Takes another 10 seconds. And I click activate, and she has the new design. That is how fast and how powerful plug and play design is. Not only can she look at the new design, but she can use it. And not only can she use it, not as a demo with other people's content, it takes all her posts and her pictures and her pages and her text, which is part of the database, and inserts them into the new design. Well, I'll tell you what, let's try this one. Download, upload, activate. There you go. And we did that a couple of times. Tried different websites. So which one do you like? And after about an hour, she said, I really like this one. I said, that's great. So I won't be able to build the website in 6 hours. It'll take 7, because we wasted an hour, or added an hour, if you put it that way, to create a design. Using a template. Now, traditionally, and in web world, the internet world, a template is really a dirty word, isn't it? If I say to you the words website template, you think cheap and tacky. You think common to other people, not unique to me. You know, it's free. And you think not very good. That's what you think of templates. And when you look at the person who's building your website, you then think they're not doing much. Maybe they're not. Templates, a dirty word in website development. But not in WordPress. What they call themes are template designs that people have put together for you to download. Literally hundreds of thousands. For free. Then what happens? Then I do my bit and make it your own. So, first hour, decide what your design and layout will be. Next 2 hours, let's talk about what you want it to do just for you. You might want to change the colour of a menu, buttons. You might want to change the layout of the images. You might want to add different functionality. And we use a style sheet, which I'm sure you've heard some of these terms, a style sheet to do that. I take the template, I make it your own by using a style sheet. Changing colours, changing fonts, changing sizes of words, changing the way we do pictures. And so, even though I might build the same website from the same theme, design, 10 times, they'll look like 10 completely different websites. They'll feel similar when you use them because the functionality will be the same, the process of how you access pages. But they'll look and be completely different. Never mind the fact, your content's different anyway. Pictures and text, that's unique to you, whatever. But in terms of the bespoke elements of your website which make it unique to you, which is what people want, that takes a couple of hours. Because I have to code that. I have to make that happen. I have to change the template. Right? So we're 3 hours in. At that point, I need you to do your bit. Because I need you to get the content ready. I need you to get the images the right size, because we don't want our download speeds to be too high. Download speeds that are high, bad for users, bad for Google. Don't like it, you'll get penalised. I need you to resize the pictures, make sure they're of proper quality. You know, compress them as far as you can to reduce the memory, to make them still look good. If you're a photographer, you can't compress as far as, let's say, I don't know, me. They have to look sharp. I need you to do that. And I need you to get the text ready, because this is something, A, you're best at, it's your business, but also, it's a waste of your money that you're giving me. You want me to code things and do clever stuff, not edit pictures. Okay? And I said to her, do you use Dropbox? Just like in the cloud folder system, right? She says, yes. I said, you get the pictures ready, you name folders, different types and categories, upload the pictures you want to use, I'll do the rest. I'll get that website to the point where it looks exactly how you want it, evolved from the original design. You know, I'm not starting again. We don't do that. Anybody who designs you a bespoke website in WordPress, who writes your own theme, unless you are very unusual and wealthy, there is no point doing that. WordPress can do everything you need to do using ready-made designs that you adapt. And the difference between a bespoke theme and what I'm talking about, bespoke from scratch, expensive. Everything in web design is time. Take an existing design and make it your own pretty fast. 6 hours if you do the content. So there's an hour talking about content. So I'm up to 4 hours, aren't I? 4 hours. At that point we talk about marketing. She asked me about search engine optimization, which is kind of hit and miss at the moment a bit. They keep changing everything. So, well, before we do that, you tell me what your target phrases are. I can't show you search engine optimization unless you have a set phrase and target. So she does that, that's fine. I said, well, that's not that competitive, it's quite a niche term. You probably don't need to pay an SEO person, search engine optimization person, to do this. I think you can do it yourself. And there's a plugin on Word. You can always tell WordPress sites that have been poorly built. There are signs, in my opinion. One is they use bespoke themes needlessly. And secondly, they don't use plugins that everyone should be using. And one is called Yoast SEO. There are other ones, but Yoast SEO has been downloaded about 10 million times. And Yoast SEO is a dummy list. I mean, no, I'm allowed to say that. I'm a human being. I'm a dummy too. It's a dummy list. It basically says, when you optimize your site, when you put words in certain places and use pictures and all this kind of stuff, I'll tell you if you're doing it wrong. It is a one-size-fits-all, which doesn't really exist in SEO, but nevertheless, better than nothing. And so, when you start changing your page and putting words in, SEO has this traffic light system, red, amber, green, says you're wrong, you're right, you're wrong, you're right. Get all greens when you write your content into a page, and you got a good chance of having a good ranking. In a, what's the word, marginally competitive sector, anything mega competitive, you'd have no chance really. There are other things going on in SEO. But I said, this is Yoast SEO. I will show you how to do that on your website. We install it. We install other plugins like WordFence for added security. If you haven't got that on your WordPress site, again, ask some questions. This is important stuff. WordPress is a hacker's dream because the people who own the sites control them. So if they don't update stuff, you get hacked. WordFence, all these essential plugins, which I might put a list of underneath this vlog. So there you go. You now have SEO capability. I've shown you a bit more than that by explaining how it works. If you just follow the traffic light system, you've increased your chances of a ranking by about 100, probably. That's the 5th hour. In the 6th hour, I go and sort her server out. And all that means is I make sure that the site is running correctly, there's no errors, that everything is displaying on mobiles as it should, and her email set up and works, contact forms. Everything is tested, right? So design, make it your own with bespoke code. Get the content ready, do the SEO, test the hell out of it, professional website, 6 hours.